Hello Internet friends, my name is Rich. Thanks so much for joining me today in the Toy Aisle Lines YouTube channel. Just popping in to do a quick Darth's haul video on something I was very excited to haul today, and that is the new Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Gamorrean Guard. This is probably an action figure, probably one of my most anticipated figures, and I think Hasbro nailed this guy. I give it a 99.9%. I have a few small, teeny tiny little gripes, but nothing major. Quickly, here is the box, or the back of the box, I should say, with a little write-up. There's the front of it. Usually there would be a figure inside of there. This is a Target exclusive for the most part in the United States. It's certainly a Target exclusive. Here in Canada land, it is exclusive to EB Games. And if you are a Canadian Black Series collector and you're sort of wondering where some of these Target and Walgreens exclusives end up here in Canada, since Canada doesn't have either of those two retailers, I'm going to link the Canadian Black Series Facebook groups that I'm a part of. They are always really great for members, letting people know when they found out something's going to be on pre-order. I was able to pre-order this guy from EB Games. So check the links in below. Just if you are Canadian, if you are a Canadian Black Series collector, I'm going to show you some awesome Black Series Facebook groups with a lot of helpful members that always help you to get these toys. And a lot of these exclusives, I'm able to pre-order them thanks to said Black Series groups. If you're American, you probably have lots and lots of American Black Series groups. Every other country, you're on your own because I just don't know. Anyhow, back to the figure. He is fantastic. Really, really good articulation. It's a single jointed elbow, but you actually get a lot of, is that 90 degrees? I don't know my degrees, but I know that's a good elbow bend. Knees are double jointed. He comes with 3 weapons. He has this sort of axe, which is very reminiscent of the vintage figure. Not the vintage collection, but the actual vintage figure. Comes with another battle axe. These are really painted quite nicely. And comes with this sort of spear thing, a bobber. So if you are going to army build these guys, you have a couple different options. Also, he does have a articulated jaw, and I know people really like that. I personally don't usually care a whole lot about that. Although that was fun. Just because it kind of breaks up the sculpt sometimes. But I think they did a really good job on this particular articulated jaw. The last Black Series figure with an articulated jaw, I think, was Bosk, and I didn't love the execution of that. This, I think, is really good. And if you're going to army build, it gives you a couple different options. Very, very cool. He has a soft goods underpants. Again, most collectors really like soft goods. I'm not a huge fan of soft goods on my 6-inch figures, unless it's like Mezco 112 Collective, where they really put a lot of effort and quality into their soft goods. I typically would rather stuff just be sculpted, but still, they did a pretty good job on this fur. It feels quite soft. The other thing is, I'm not really used to my Black Series being like this any longer. He was held in his package with elastic bands, and there was also, which are no problem, you can cut those. I believe, have you ever gotten clothes that have like the tags on them? There's that plastic kind of T, piece of plastic shaped like a T, and you got to cut off the end so you can sort of pull out the little plastic tag. He had one of those. I didn't explain that very well, but when you open them up, be careful because there is something sort of attached to his shorts that you're going to want to cut before you rip it out of the package. If you get it, you'll see what I mean. Overall, I am 1,000% happy with this guy. I think he looks fantabulous. A lot of people wonder if he is sort of just an upsized version of the, there's his feet, by the way, an upsized version of the Vintage Collection Gamorrean Guard. It might be, which is fine because, that was a good Gamorrean Guard as well. Although he looked a little too stout, that Vintage Collection figure. This, I think the proportions are perfect. I love the head sculpt. I love the paint apps on this guy. You'll notice the box is a little bit bigger. I don't really think it had to be, but I think that was just a way to make people think the extra charge was worth it. And yes, he costs, I think regularly at EB Games, he's probably going to be about $44, $45. If you have an Edge card, it's like, I don't know, $4 or $5 off. So I paid $40 for him. which is why I'm not army building this guy, just because that's a lot to spend. I mean, I can get a whole other figure and some porgs for $40. So I will try to resist the urge to army build him. But yeah, otherwise though, fantastic. Other than the price, everything about this guy is great. I'm not even that upset about the price. And I'm a cheap guy, so that should tell you how much I like this figure. So, Black Series, Gamorrean Guard, Target exclusive if you have a Target. If you're in Canada, check EB Games. The rest of the world, I don't know. I apologize. Hey, if you're somewhere in the world other than Canada and the US and you found this guy, let me know in the comments where that was. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I will see ya.